going to look at this game from start to bottom. From bottom to the top. We're going to look what went wrong. One Hydra got 19 interceptor kills here. So I went pool first, right? This is okay. Pool, edge, gas, drone. Everything is fine here, right? My opponent his first out is a bit late, but my link's still a little bit of a res. Get one worker kill here, not too much. I'm slightly behind in workers, but that's normal versus Protoss. Because, I don't know, like buildings cost drones as so you lose a couple. I also had to make some links here. I cleared this build up, and I'm around even in workers now at the 4-minute mark, which is pretty standard. So right now I think the game is fine, right? I'm on 3 hatcheries. I have a little bit of gas in the bank. Start to finish, you donkey. I know, dude. But I'm right here. I would say I'm in a good position. Right? Can we agree? Thank you. I even delay his third base for a while. He goes carrier. To be honest, I did not see that this is a carrier building. I don't know, like I wasn't close enough to the Stargate to see it. Not sure why. Out of curiosity, not to pay out on Protoss, what was the APM average of both races at the end of the game? APM average depends on the amount of units you have. Like if you select 16 units and do a click, it's 16 APM. If you select 1 probe, do a click, it's 1 APM. But the more units you have, the higher APM, right? The more units you're controlling around. So you can't really tell too much about the APM, but I think his is obviously lower. Mostly because he also has fewer units. So right here, this was the first thing that I would call absolute fucking bullshit. I didn't have spores at my 4th base because I didn't realize that he's going carriers. I immediately throw down spore crawlers. And this is where it gets tricky. So he goes for the triple Voidray Attack at the same time as harassing me here with carriers. Very, very not cool. However, I lose a queen and I end up killing a carrier, but in return he also burns down this base. I then go and defend my main base, rebuild this base, put some queens in the main, some queens over here. Then spore crawlers down here because this is the next base he's probably gonna attack, not this base again. I don't fill up the gases again after you kill them with carriers. I don't think I ever do. So I definitely lose out on a little bit of gas here. My upgrades are on the way though, so that's nice. I'm pretty sure APM is not based on how many units you have. What are you smoking? The more units you send somewhere, the more actions it is, buddy. If I select these units and send them here, it's 20 APM. No, it is 100%. That's how it works. So here he starts attacking me. I cannot defend this fine, mostly because I also have a lot of spore crawlers. Okay, go test it and tell me I'm wrong. I clean up the sentry and the adept here. At home I'm getting my vipers. I got the hive tech up. Like I'm fine, even though I lose this space and I lost this space as well. I'm now in a good position where we are 4 base versus 4 base. You can't really stop the Skytoss from getting the bases. It's just not possible unless you do a queen walk. Because he has carriers, and what am I gonna use to kill carriers? And I can't really send 40 links in these spaces either. Because first of all, he has a lot of cannons, shield batteries, he can warp in some salads or whatnot. Just doesn't work, and Voiders and carriers would also kill the links. So, best thing to do is just relax, stay at home, expand, getting up to 80 workers, putting spore crawlers at all the bases so I can defend them. Expanding everywhere, trying to get up my gas mining, because I was kinda lacking on gas. Also getting the Ultralisk Cavern so I can deal with potential disruptors or Templar. Scouting a bit, seeing what he's building. I only see air units, so I thought, well, it's probably just pure air toss. Still, I'm getting my 5 Ultralisk here. Railgan, why do you get 5 Ultras? Well, we will see why later. Right here, they're not that useful. I'm not sure. This first fight, a bit yikes, maybe, I don't know. I abducted the carriers but didn't even kill them. Put Parasitic Bomb on the Void Rays. That gonna do a lot of AoE damage. While my Microbial Shroud is up, I can kinda fight this back. But I think he sniped all my infestors in this fight. So the fight kind of turns around against me and starts hurting me instead. Not very cool, Mr. Protoss. Very, very uncool. Yeah. Yeah, but the Ultralisks are tanking a bit. I'm getting a couple interceptor kills here as well. They're quite tanky though. I'm also have +3/+3 already, where he is at, let's check his upgrades. He is at +3 attack. My Ultralisks after the fight went down here and started to harass a bit, which also made him pull back. But they don't get too much done and eventually have to come back. The Ultralisks are really going to be important later on though. Right now, while I'm on the defenses heavily and he's not using Templar or Disruptor, they're not important, but I kind of need them. And even if they tank a little bit of damage, it can still be good. So Parasitic Bomb goes down once again. You can see how beautiful this guy is spreading his units, while all of his, like half of his Sky Army gets hit by the same Parabomb. I try to throw down as many Microbial Shrouds as I can. So far units lost 3k in his favor, so he's definitely out trading me here. But I'm trying to fight back. Worker-wise, we're also kind of even. I have 8 workers more, not that it matters too much. 4 crawls are also doing work, doing fine. More and more gas, more and more bases. He's also taking this space, which I don't like, but I can't really stop. And he just keeps pushing. Like he's maxed out. These are non-stop maxed out Protoss pushes. If I defend one push poorly, the game is instantly over. If I defend one push really well, I still have to kill the next army as well, right? Once again, Parabomb goes down. This time he does a good job splitting. But because he fights underneath all the underneath all the Spore Crawlers, I can kind of clean out his interceptors quite quickly. And I also have a really high Hydra count. While because he doesn't have Storm or Disruptors, the Hydras are actually really useful. Like the Queens are tanking the damage and the Hydralisks are doing the DPS. You don't really want Hydras to tank, but if you can get them to do some damage, they're very good. Once again, going for a little poke down there while his army is out of position. Saw that, of course. Then we go back home. You can see I'm already starting to build up quite a bit of a bank. Trading slightly worse so far, but the last fights have been very even. Microbial Shroud at the front, where his units are fighting mine, abducting the mothership, sniping it down, Parasitic Bomb on his entire army once again, right here we have it. While his units are slowly dying. You don't want to spam Parabomb, you just kind of want to put them down one by one. Then while he's retreating, a little snipe on a carrier just to get some extra mileage. Trades very even. Keep in mind, this guy keeps attacking to like 10 Spore Crawlers. Queen, Infestor, Hydra, Viper. Like these are like the best fights I can take, and I'm barely trading even. So like, yeah. I mean, I could obviously play it better, but it's very hard to control the Viper, Hydra, Infestor, Queen. Like everything has to be in the right position, right? Let's go next fight. Once again, Parabomb goes down on the Voidrays. So he has to move those around. Microbial Shroud, where his interceptors are attacking. I don't want my queens to take too much damage. More Parabomb, and then I think here we have even one additional Parasitic Bomb, and he actually has to retreat for once. And this is the first time I'm out trading him, because I was able to get 3 consecutive Parasitic Bombs on his army. And as we can tell, this damage is all done by Parasitic Bombs. The Protoss is obviously not able to split his army. Poor guy's at 152 APM playing his heart out. So. And since somebody asked about the Protoss APM before. So we keep pushing here. This time I'm on the offense, running into a cannon wall. Yikes. Microbial Shroud goes down. I'm trying to fungal his interceptors here. Let's see, interceptor count is at 81. Let's have the interceptor count open during this fight. I think we will see like once here we have more Microbial Shrouds I can tank. The interceptor count is slowly going down, but so is my Hydra count. My Hydras are at the front, that's not where I want them to have. Right here, let's go back a little bit. We see that I'm throwing down the fungal. Right about now, when the interceptors are clumped up. Interceptor count is at 64, fungaled, and it just plummets pretty quickly because fungal does a lot of damage. Yeah, I was giving it his all, dude. Now we're down to 20 interceptors. The Hydralisks were at the front. They sadly died. Really unhappy that I left all my Hydralisks to die, but not that much that I can do about that. It just happened. My queens are on hold position, so not all are firing. I do that intentionally. I don't want my queens to walk into the cannons. but I'm not really losing units here. The trade has been in his favor, but right now, if you check units lost, mine is not really moving, whereas he is slowly losing units. If you check what I'm actually looking at right now, let's have a look. Yeah, there is not my infestor, that's a bit unlucky. I'm spamming transfusions right here, having your whole position on my army. Remaking a new army. In the production tab we have 28 Hydralisks, trying to get them in position. I also recharged my Vipers. And I'm just trying to get into a position here where I can push him. He kept throwing away his interceptors into my queens right there with the +3 carapace upgrade. So that's very good for me. Another carrier goes down. Nice trade. Let's look at units lost. Interceptor count is at 20 right now. Another parasitic bomb on his army, and what does the Protoss player do? Well, he stacks all of his units up, of course. That's how you play against that, apparently. The shield battery keeps his units alive, but all his interceptors are dying versus my Hydralisks with the queens tanking. This time the Hydralisks were at the back, so it's a lot better. We're making 8 queens at a time right now, because I need queens for my next push. Queens are very important. Hydralisks are okay-ish, but they're not that good. You don't really want Hydralisks in your army. Another Viper goes in, sadly gets sniped, miscontrolled by me. I always want to have like 3 Vipers or 4 Vipers in these fights. I don't want to fight without Vipers. There we have it again. Microbial Shroud goes down. Fungal on his interceptors and Voidrays. Interceptor count is at 26 right now. Steadily declining, and while my units are in the Microbial Shroud, they barely take any damage from the interceptors. But I'm also getting the melee upgrade. He's trying to take that base. I have vision on the base at the top right. Right here we just have constant fighting, right? Units lost. I still lost more than him, but if you check the minerals at the top right, his mineral count is starting to go low. And as he has less and less minerals, it gets harder and harder for him to keep interceptors up. This base is kind of mining out, this is mining out, this base is fully mining though. So I just keep hunting down his interceptors here, and he has a huge gas bank, but it's not like his supply is really going up. What is he building right now? He's getting Storm, yeah. Getting that Storm upgrade. Getting more Vipers, always need some Vipers in my army. I think I'm gonna pull my queens together very soon as well. Losing a couple Hydras here, unfortunate, happens. I think I might also lose these investors. I was looking at something else, like I was being busy at home. Doing the macro work, pulling all my queens together. Pulling the queens from all the hatcheries is very annoying, a lot of work. Get them to walk around. You also need to keep sucking with your Vipers, then... I didn't notice that he's making Templar, but I thought that he might. So I'm making Ultralisks right now. He's also taking this space. I think I'm gonna notice that sometime soon. Going for a Hydralisk push here. Not getting too much done. Just have to retreat again. Units lost. I lost 6k resources more. But I'm taking control of this part of the map as well now. Pushing him into the bottom left corner. Which is also where he moves his army, because he wants to defend this space. This time around he's going in with High Templar, and this is where my Ultralisk get very handy. Moving my Vipers back, one Viper sadly goes down, storms his own Voidray, storms his interceptors. Ultralisks get on top of his Archons, Queens are coming in for the flank, Parasitic Bomb on his army. My units are fighting underneath Microbial Shroud, like these are all very good fights. These are very good fights for me, so I'm very happy. The Archons over here are doing a lot of damage, so I sent my Ultralisk to fight the Archons. Meanwhile, all my units are underneath the Microbial Shroud still. Very important. If my units leave the Microbial Shroud, they die incredibly fast. He then makes a recall. I'm not sure if I even get a single kill. Actually, I got a kill there. Quite nice. And then I sent some units to the bottom left to try and clean up the mineral line here. Reduce his mineral income even further. I'm kinda maxed-ish. Have some Vipers ready. Let's check my Infestor count. Infestor count is at 3, Viper count is at 2. I don't need too many more. That's kind of where I want to be. Once again, Ultralisks and Hydras go and catch the High Templar. Parasitic Bomb on his army. My army's in the Microbial Shroud. And just like this, we finally win against the Protoss. Yikes. Very, very, very difficult. It's like fight after fight after fight, where I think I take really good fights, but I can't get ahead. Lappa. For me, this is something I've gotten used to this style, but it's all over when the Protoss get stormed. That's very hard for me to deal with. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Yeah, well, the storm... Like, the thing is, against storm, you need ultralisks. You need ultralisks that go in like this and clap down the High Templar. And then if he storms your units, put Microbial Shroud and start transfusing. It only gets problematic if you don't have Microbial Shroud. But as long as you have Microbial Shroud, like this queen is getting focused by so many interceptors and you see how long it survives. I could do a lot better with my transfusions. I could probably fungal better. I could probably abduct units here and there. But I'm always fighting underneath Spore Crawlers. I always have Ultralisks at the front tanking. And I think this is a pretty well played game. But it's so difficult. I think like there is such a difference in terms of difficulty to win for Zerg than there is for Protoss. Like the guy basically rushes 2-base carrier into while taking a 3rd base and is completely fine. Is it unbeatable? No. I mean, I clearly demonstrated that you can beat it, but I think it's way more difficult to play for the Zerg. Because this guy doesn't take good engagements. Like what is this, dude? Like none of his engagements were really good or well thought out. There is no like, oh, Zealots here while I'm attacking you here. And only at the very end did he actually think, well, maybe I actually should add some Storm. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed. This is the current state of ZvP though. This is what my games look like. Go about it.